Welcome to the Pretty Confident Podcast, where we embrace authenticity, own our worth, and build unshakable confidence. I'm your host, Sierra Renee. So let's dive in. What's up, you guys? How are y'all doing? I have been stressed to the max for like a week now, I feel like. But y'all, I am trying to change my ways. I am trying to do better. But how are you all doing? How are you all feeling? I know this episode in particular is the second episode that is getting uploaded later in the day rather than 8 o'clock a.m. on a Monday. This one is actually being uploaded probably around like 5, 6 o'clock in the evening on Monday. And today that this is supposed to be uploaded is May 12th. And it was supposed to be uploaded, of course, like I said, at 8 a.m., but it is being uploaded in the evening. Y'all, I have been dealing with so much. And I always want to stress to you all that if you have a lot going on, deal with the things that you can, control at first and work your way down. Stop trying to control the things that you can't control. Stop trying to stress over things that, you don't have the energy to put forth towards certain things that you are trying to put energy towards. Focus on one thing at a time. When you start to try to juggle all these things start to fall out of your hand. You start to miss stuff. You start to fumble stuff without knowing sometimes. Like things start to get jumbled. And I have been dealing with a lot, literally. And I feel like it's almost every week that I have a story to tell you all. But this is what life is. It's a lot of ups and downs, a lot of setbacks. There's time for you to, sometimes things may be going your way and there may not be anything wrong, for a good amount of time. But then things start to look up, things start to look down. It is completely, it is, you never know. Things ebb and flow, most definitely. So I just want to say a lot has been going on. Literally, a lot has been going on. And so I just want to be transparent with y'all because y'all know me. This is my podcast where we are confident. This is my podcast where we speak truth. We don't hide. There's a way to be private without being, without trying to hide things and be, what do they call it? Not suspicious, but I don't even know what they call it. Y'all fill in the blank. My brain has been worked to the max today. So last week my work life has gotten hectic because y'all know I've told y'all before I accepted a new position, but somebody else accepted a new position as well on my team. And so they left before I did. So I'm kind of covering everything that they did on top of what I'm doing as well. So last week was the first week that she was not here. So I'm reaching out to her, portfolio, and it's just a lot of moving parts and things that I have to keep track of. So work has been on 10 or past 10. Like, I don't even know what to say about work, but work has been past 10. And then I got, my social media where I'm trying to post on TikTok every day. Y'all, I have hit 1,000 followers on TikTok. Applaud, virtual applause everywhere. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just imagine me bowing in front of you. But it has been insane. And then my boyfriend got into a wreck on the interstate where thankfully he didn't hit anyone or harm himself, but he did hit the interstate wall dividing the two, you know, lane, like the two ways of traffic, the two paths of traffic, one oncoming, one off going. So it was just a lot. So then I had to go get him, and then my cousin graduated. Congratulations to her. And then I went and got my hair done Saturday. And y'all, one thing about me is if I tell you, like, I'm somebody that plans ahead, and I am also somebody that I will confirm everything I need to confirm on my side with you so that you know exactly what you need to complete a service that I need done to me. So if y'all, let me just tell y'all the story. We got time. Y'all are here. Y'all ain't got nothing to do. Y'all are listening to me. So I appreciate y'all. And we gonna keep on moving. So I messaged because, mind you, we are going on a cruise at the end of this week. Okay. We are going on a cruise. So this time next week, I will be on a cruise sipping on a martini, hopefully, something, a margarita, something stronger, something. I'm probably going to need to be drunk half that cruise, but going on a cruise later on this week. So mind you, I'm trying to get, girls, y'all know how we prepare in advance to go on a trip. Like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get my hair done a week before we leave. That way my hair is still, clean and nice, but also it's not tight and I'm holding my head all stiff, while I'm walking through the airport and whatnot. So I scheduled my hair appointment a week before my cruise a month ago. This was in April. I scheduled this, messaged the people and everything. And so a week before my appointment, so that was what this past Saturday was the 10th. So the 3rd, I messaged the people and I'm like, hey, I'm confirming my appointment as well as my mom appointment. This is what I'm getting. This is the color. This is the style. This is the length. This is the time and date. Can you confirm, that you have it? She said yes. Okay, cool. Then she texted me Thursday. It was like, hey, so this is the 8th. Yeah, Thursday the 8th. It is like, hey, I just confirming your appointment for tomorrow. Mind you, my appointment is Saturday, but you're texting me on Thursday saying you have an appointment for me on the 9th on a Friday at 1:30 p.m. I said, no, I don't have an appointment on Friday. I told you I have an appointment on Saturday. How did you just confirm with me a week ago that we have an appointment scheduled for Saturday, and now you're texting me about an appointment on Friday at 1:30 and my appointment is Saturday at 8? It doesn't make sense. So that starts to frustrate me. I'm like, okay, this is not going how I want it to go. All right, I'm just gonna stick with it. We're gonna see. So then we get there, my mom and I, we get there Saturday. We got there early, okay, but then we walk in and she's asking me and my mom what color we want, what length, what style. I'm like, I text you all of this. Why do you not know? So then I'm over here. They had like two different colors I could pick from, as far as like burgundy, where it's just all straight burgundy, or burgundy mixed with black. I don't care. I don't care. I chose whatever I chose. And then she's like, okay, what length do you want it? Butt length. I told y'all butt length like 12 times. Y'all quoted me a price for butt length. So then, like, they're talking. And mind you, these are Africans. I'm not being racist, but they are Africans. They're legit Africans. So then, like, I'm just sitting there just waiting for them to get started on me. She already put the cape around my neck and all that. And so then they're just talking and they're like, do you want to go get your hair? Mind you, they're not addressing me. I'm like, I'm sorry. After they said it another time, I'm like, who are you talking to? Me? She was like, do you want to go get your hair? I'm like, what do you mean by that? What do you mean, do I want to go get my hair? What do you mean by that? They were like, oh, well, the hair that we have, it's only going to be mid back. That is half of the length that I wanted. Why do you think that what? Like, that is something that you should have prepared for. I told you a month, a week, well, yeah, a week out in advance that I wanted butt length. Why are we not on the same wavelength? Why are you not prepared for my appointment? So I'm like, so what do you mean go get my hair? Like, do y'all not have it whatsoever? No, we don't. Okay, that's something that y'all should have told me. I'm gonna have to provide myself. The fuck? Like, sorry. Like, what? Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. So then, mind you, we got there early. So our appointment is at 8. We got there at like 7:45. So I have to leave. Like, there's no hair stores open, like around me that's open. So I had to drive a good amount of drive, like 2, 3 cities over, to go to a hair store that like opened at 8 o'clock. So then by the time I got back, it was almost 9 o'clock. It was like 8:45. The lady did not start on my hair at until 9. So mind you, I text you multiple times, told you the style, color, length, time, and day when my appointment was going to be. You confirmed it. You confirmed, okay? And then the day comes and we start an hour late. You don't have my hair. Like, there's so much going on. And then we get, my hair ended up being to my damn knees. Like, there's y'all, all I can do is laugh to keep from crying. Y'all ever heard y'all grandparents or parents say that? All you can do is laugh to keep from crying. So now I'm just so annoyed, because then she's like, "Oh, why did you grab all this hair?" Because I grabbed 5 packs of hair. Like, I don't know how much you're gonna need to do this hairstyle. That is something that you should have, accounted for and got yourself. So I grabbed all the hair that they had on the shelf, just so that I didn't have to go back, just in case. And even if they didn't use everything, okay, at this point, I have hair left over and I can use that for a different appointment with somebody else. Let me be clear, with somebody else. So I don't even know, y'all. So then I'm like, oh yeah, I just grabbed everything they had on the wall, which they did only have 5 packs. So that way, just in case, I didn't have to come back out if you ran out, yada yada yada. She was like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. This was too much, I was able to do all of this with just 1 pack. So you say you was able to do all of this with 1 pack. I'm telling my ride, go ahead and head here. Because if she talking about so she more than halfway done with my head with 1 pack, that means you almost done. So then my boyfriend comes because, mind you, I left the car with him because my mom came and got me because his car was in a. It was just so much, y'all. So, moral of the story, I got done around like 4:30. Hair was long out the wazoo, y'all. Like, I don't get my hair past my butt. I've rarely ever had my hair to my butt. Like I haven't had braids in a long time. The last braids I've had was like maybe mid back, not butt length at all. So I asked for butt length just to stretch my comfort zone a little bit. But y'all, oh my gosh. The hair was down past my knees. I swear to you not. I promise you, I took off 1.5 feet off this dang hair. Because I told her, I said, well, you telling me that, you need 55-inch hair. They didn't have that. They had 72. That's all they had. So that's what I had to grab. And before we started, I told her, this is all they had. This was the only length. You're going to have to cut it in order to make it butt length for me. And then when she did the first braid, she made me stand up. I looked at how long the braid was. I said, okay, yeah, that's good. That's butt length. Like, and you continued to braid past the first braid. I'm highly confused. You made more work. You made it take long. Y'all, this weekend was just so crazy. And then on top of that, State Farm, y'all, I don't know. I don't know. But the way my boyfriend, damaged his car, like, I get it. It's hard to get the car on a tow truck if you don't have the right equipment. But at first, it was just like people just weren't going to get it. State Farm wasn't communicating. It was just a whole lot. So now, even to this day that I'm recording this podcast, they still do not have the possession of the vehicle to take it to the body shop. Y'all, I'm about to be out of the country. I am going to have cellular reception, but I'm not about to be on no darn cruise dealing with insurance stuff. I'm not. So this needs to be handled before I leave. Ugh. So it's just been so much, and I just have not caught a break. I haven't been feeling good. I've had headaches for multiple days in a row. I've had to, stomach ache for multiple days. It's just so much. It's so much. And y'all, do y'all know that there is, with all this tariff stuff and everything, people in government don't want to answer the question about who pays tariffs. The customer pays tariffs, like the consumer pays tariffs. We all know that. But all these videos that I see of state councils and all these people in like Congress and whatever politics, they don't want to answer the question about who pays tariffs. We do. And I have the perfect example because UPS just came to my door this morning and they're like, hey, I have a package for your boyfriend. I'm not going to, more. Y'all know his name. He's been on the podcast, but I have a package for your boyfriend, yada, yada, yada. But there's a customs charge that has to be paid before I can give you the package. I'm like, well, how much is it? Can I pay you by card, cash, Apple Pay, tap to pay? No, it has to be check, cashier's check, or money order. Huh? So I'm like, hold on. Okay, well, I'll get that handled. You could come back later today. Um, and I'm calling people. I call my mom. I'm like, do you know of any scams going on where there's people impersonating? Because there are people that impersonate delivery people, so that way they can, either steal your package, steal your information, get your card information, steal money, whatever. So I'm like, do you know of any scams going on of people impersonating delivery drivers, claiming that there's tariffs or tax or customs that people have to pay in order to receive their package? She's like, no, let me look that up. So then I end up just calling UPS customer service, my local UPS, and they're both saying it's legit. So I'm like, dang, okay, cool. So I go get the money order. The guy does come back. Sure enough, it's a package that my boyfriend did order. Y'all, we are having to pay tariffs clear as day. And just so that I can put this information out there in case anybody doesn't know, my company does this with some of the charges that we pay on behalf of the customer. And then us as a company, we charge the customer so that they pay us back. So all of this is happening is, so when our packages, if you're getting anything from overseas, once it gets to customs and it clears, if there's any charges, UPS or whoever your carrier is going to pay those charges, and then they're going to charge you that charge so that you pay them back. So I did have to make the money order out to UPS, and the reason that makes sense is because UPS paid that charge. Okay, but they have to send that charge off to the consumer, you. Okay, so anybody that wants to say, oh, consumers aren't paying the tariffs, yes, on something that wouldn't have costed us anything but, the shipping and handling fees, he just had to pay 72 additional dollars just to get his package because of tariffs. This stuff is real and it is affecting us. So if you don't think your vote matters, if you don't think your voice matters, this is what's happening for those that did not get out and vote. For those that didn't think that their voice had a any type of say in a matter. We got to choose. We got to vote for our president. And for those that didn't get out there and vote, your vote automatically counted towards the person that is in office. So keep that in mind once the next election comes over, once the next election comes through and we're choosing, congressmen, congresswomen, state, whoever, as far as politics, do your research. I don't do a lot of research, but I know darn sure I'm not swinging the Republican way, because look at what this is costing us extra on stuff that we would have already paid for when we, paid for the transaction to get our product. So it's just so hectic. It's so crazy right now, y'all. I'm so sorry. Like, this episode is already all over the place, but y'all, I feel like I'm doing a little bit better at, not being able to plan everything, not being in control of everything. Because y'all, I have just been calling. There's a difference between going crazy because you can't, effectively control everything versus making sure everything is going according to plan. If I didn't do my due diligence in contacting this State Farm, contacting the towing company and all of this, I would not be in the loop of what's going on. And maybe there's less things that would have happened to the point where now I'm on maybe my third or fourth towing company to try and go get my boyfriend's car. But had I not called and followed up to make sure these things are getting completed, this process probably could take longer. Like, I'm hoping it gets to the body shop today. That is my hope, if not tomorrow, because I really need this done before end of week. But it's just like, I'm not stressing. I'm just irritated. There's a difference between being irritated and annoyed versus stressing out. When you stress out, you start to inflict, emotional damage on your mind, your mental well-being, your physical well-being, because all of those things align. I told you all this in a couple episodes before, where I was just completely stressed when my boyfriend and I had to move because of an altercation at my old apartment. But right now I don't feel stressed. I'm just highly annoyed and disappointed in everybody that I've been dealing with. Now, the body shop, I don't have any complaints. I mean, that lady has been calling me, giving me, a rundown on what's going to happen when the car finally does get there. And she's even, called to confirm and says she'll take the towing company into the hands if State Farm can't get it handled. So her, I respect. Me and you, cool. But it's just State Farm and this third party vendor with the towing is just driving me insane. So it is what it is. I am going to give this other towing company some time before I start ringing their line like crazy, because I'm not stopping. There's a difference between stressing and being irritable. There's a difference between not being able to control everything and making sure things are going according to what needs to happen, according to whatever, time frame people told me, because I have a tracking link to see when the towing company gets there, and once they start heading to the location, the body shop that I need them to drop it off to. But y'all, we are not going to stress about that. I am coming to you all when I have the time and energy to allocate to you. I was super upset this past week. I just feel like I need a 2 week long vacation. Like I'm trying to hold out. Like, I almost took a half day today, but I was like, you know what? That'll be a waste of a half day because I'm literally at home. I can do the work I need to do. I can do the house chores I need to do. All I need to do is, manage my time. So that's what I did today. I did not take a half day. I took a full day for Friday, because I know I'm gonna be super busy with my hair, not my hair, but my nails, my hands, my feet, my wax, all of the things. My cousin is coming into town from being deployed from the to with the Navy, so he's coming home for a little bit before he gets deployed again. So it's just a lot going on. So thank you all for being patient. I say all of that to say thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for wanting to tune in. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for my OG listeners. Thank you if this is your first time listening in. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I am here to I really want to spread positivity, but I also just want to, be transparent and spread real experiences. Like I am somebody that is going through day-to-day life just as anybody else is. Um I also want to give another shout out to my twin sister's boyfriend. Congratulations on graduating May 12th. I'm sorry that I am not there. I honestly thought, based on the tracking information, that Moore's vehicle was being towed to the body shop until I called and was told that it was not. So I had planned on going, and then that came up, and yeah, so it's just been a lot. So I just want to give a shout out to my cousin and my twin sister's boyfriend. Congratulations to both of you all graduating with your degrees. My cousin graduated from Tennessee Tech University. And my twin sister's boyfriend graduated from Motlow. So congratulations to both of you, but also congratulations to anybody out there that is graduating, that is working towards graduating. Like, keep putting your best foot out there. Keep, putting your best interest out there, for yourself, for the sake of yourself, and for the sake of, being the best version and the version that you want to become. So congratulations to you both, and congratulations to all the other graduates out there. I just definitely wanted to make sure I shouted them out, whether they listen to this or not. It's just the awareness and wanting to make sure that I bring awareness to everybody else. You are able to accomplish whatever you want to accomplish. If you want to go back to school, go back to school. For me, I don't know. I don't know. Everybody keeps telling me, go back to school, get your master's, get your master's. Why? 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 I don't know. I'm already in debt. I'm not really trying to be in debt anymore. And yes, my job will pay for a chunk of, me going to school to get my master's, but that's not 100% full ride. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I'm finna go through, a course that'll feel like I'm back in school, which is what everybody else says when they took this course. So after I get this certification to do the job that I got hired to do, maybe we'll see if I have time to, do another full year to get my master's. We'll see. I don't know. I'm just really trying to find the benefit for me. Like there's other people that's out there going to get their masters that I know, or that wants to strive for the masters that I know. And I'm just like, yeah, if that's what you want, truly go do it. I'm not hating. I'm not trying to, impose my viewpoints, my thoughts about the situation on others. It's what I feel like is right for me. If you feel like that is right for you, go do it. Don't let anybody else impose their fears, their traumas, their setbacks, their why they're hesitant about stuff onto you because of their experiences and their thought process and their viewpoint. They are going to come around if and when it suits them. If not, it just doesn't suit them. And for me, it just doesn't suit me right now. So I want to say, all of you all that's going out there for your masters, keep going. Don't let anybody discourage you from what you want to achieve. If you feel like this is what you want in your life and it is going to fit you best and help you succeed even more, go do that. Go do that. And you are going to accomplish it, and everything else that you want to accomplish in life, because you listen to yourself. You bet on yourself. Stop worrying about what these other people got to do, because what you eat don't make other people sugar honey iced tea. Okay. But I don't know. I was gonna get on here to talk about um how to realize when it's time to change your ways, because I really came to this realization last week, when I was just going through so much, and I was like, you know what, everybody goes through stuff, but when does it come a time where you realize there are certain actions that you want to change within yourself to be the best possible version that you want somebody to be for you? So when the instance that I thought about this, and you can apply this however you want to your life and your circumstances, was realizing that I want to be a better granddaughter and a better friend. Y'all, I really don't talk to my grandparents as much as I would like to, and not to have any excuses, but my reasoning behind it is because my grandmother overexerts herself with people that don't should not receive her help. Because one thing for me, if you don't want to help yourself, I'm not going to help you, because all you're going to do is waste my time, effort, and energy into pouring into you. And you are it's like a strainer. So many holes in a strainer because you pour stuff into it and let all of the water run out, like if you're cooking noodles or pasta or whatever. But it's just like, imagine holding a strainer under a faucet and waiting for it to fill up. It's never going to fill up. There's holes in a strainer. And so that is what my grandmother is. Everybody that needs something from her is the strainer, and she is the like the water coming out of the faucet. She is overly pouring herself into these strainers, into these people, and it is just wasted energy, wasted time, wasted effort, because she can be doing something else. She could be relaxing, she could be pouring into herself, but she is pouring into others who are not retaining what she is giving to them. And so that is one of the reasons why I, declared I don't really talk to my grandmother as much, because I know she has so much on her plate. So I don't want to burden her with any more, which I don't have anything to burden anybody about. It's just the fact that she has so much time and effort she's giving to other people. Me taking away time from her by being on the phone or talking or visiting her, that's taking away time that she could potentially be given to herself or wasting on other people. And so then with my granddad, it's just like, he's old, he's retired, um he's at home relaxing, but at the same time he has a house full of people that should not be there. His house is paid off. Only thing he's paying for are the month to month bills on, water, electricity, stuff like that. And so I really don't talk to my granddad, because I'm like, I love talking to my granddad. I love him, and he'll talk. And so it's just like, if I don't have the time to talk, it feels like a burden on me, and then I feel constrained. And so it's just, I want to be a better granddaughter. I want to be a better granddaughter. I want to take the time, to talk to my grandparents. I want to have the time to let my granddad talk. I want to have the time and, be selfish and take the time that my grandma would have gave to somebody else and use that for myself. As far as she's not using that to pour useless effort and time and energy into other people, but more so sitting there to get away from that. And I feel like that's what my conversations could probably do for her. But also it'll be, beneficial for me as well. I feel like I'm missing that part where I used to always go to my grandparents' house, be right around the corner from my grandparents, or they always used to come up and I used to always talk to them. But now there's no type of cadence because I'm not always with my parents. So I want to be a better granddaughter. And then as far as friendships, you know, I find myself getting very like easily irritated if it's not my best friend. And I don't talk to people as much, I don't check up as much. And I would want, people to do that for me instead of just reaching out for when they want something, which mind you, I don't reach out to anybody that, I need for something that I need. It's just more so, oh, I remember you. Hey. So I, reached out to my guy best friend. I'm like, hey, how are you? How are you doing? What are you doing this weekend for your birthday? Yada, yada, yada. Making the effort to be the person or make the change that I want to be. So it's just, putting forth the effort to change. How do you want to see yourself? And it comes down to, having that self motivation, knowing your self worth, having that self love, and then the need to show others you care and that you're not too busy for anybody. Because what really drew me to this conclusion is that the fact that my granddad was like, yeah, I know you're always busy. And so my granddad, y'all, used to never text. And so it blows my mind when I do receive a text from him, because I'm like, oh, wait, you don't text. So what changed? And he told me last week, he was like, you really don't you are busy. I never know, what you have on your plate with work and everything, with meetings and whatnot. And so I text you that way you can see it when you're not busy and respond at a time that's like at a timely manner that's efficient for you. And so when he brought that, I'm like, dang, I really am busy. I don't talk to him as much. I don't text him. I don't call him. I don't go down there to see him. Sorry, y'all. My microphone died. See, that's the devil. That is the devil. But yeah, so I was just thinking, like, I don't see my granddad as much. I don't talk to either one of my grandparents as much. And so I want to change that. And so what I was saying was, it all comes down to, what do you see that you need to change within yourself, right? If you think that there's something that you need to change, that you want to change it. And you may not feel like, oh, well, I've been this way all my life. Like, why should I change it now? Or is anybody going to is anybody going to accept the change that I make? You guys, it is going to come down to you putting forth the effort to be the change that you want to see in yourself. Just telling and talking about the change is not going to do anything. You have to put forth the effort. You have to find that self-motivation, that self-worth, have that self-love, because not only is that change going to require time, but it's going to require that constant motivation, that constant, self-validation that you are who you think you are. Stop allowing people to diminish who you are. Stop allowing other people to dictate who you are as a person. And just because you were one way, a few years ago, and you're wanting to change your ways, doesn't mean that that's who you're going to be for the rest of your life. You are only going to be who that person that you don't want to be anymore is for the rest of your life if you don't put forth the effort to do the change. And so where all of this has come from for me is the need to show others that I do care. And I'm not too busy for anybody, right? Like I just said, my granddad was like, if I text you, then you can see it at a time that is, beneficial for you. And that way you can respond in a timely manner for yourself. But then it's like, well, dang, like, I don't want you to think I'm too busy for you. Like, I still want to talk to you. So that's where my change is coming from. And so when you identify the change that you think you need to make, it's either going to be for better or for worse. But I feel like the only way that it's worse for other people are for those that were taking advantage of who you were in that season, or who you were as a person, at that time. Because there are people that I feel like whenever you feel like there's a change that you need to make within yourself, that should not only benefit you, but those around you, because it's going to better your relationships. But for those that say, oh, I hate that you changed this about yourself, I can't do that. That's selfish of them, because they were utilizing that. They were using that, way of whoever you were in that season, or whatever you were allowing and not allowing. Okay. So that's briefly what I wanted to talk about today, you guys. I still have a lot going on, so I do need to hop off, but I definitely wanted to carve time out of my day to talk about this, because this is definitely something that I thought about and that I'm going to be working towards. And so I encourage you all, if there is something that you want to change about yourself, whether it's a habit, whether it's something that you want to take on as a habit, whether it's something that you want to stop doing as a habit, regardless, do it if you feel like it is what's going to be the best for you and who you are in this season. It is okay to change when you need to. There was no rule book that said, okay, once you hit a certain age and you've acted a certain way up to this point, this is how you're going to have to act for the rest of your life. No, if you think there is a change out there that you need to make for yourself, do that. We need to be able to self-evaluate and self-change, because we need to see, okay, I can do this. I've realized this about myself. Let me make that change. We cannot walk around here just thinking we are the most perfect human being out here. There are changes that we need to make within ourselves, but it is up to us to look inward and see that change and put the effort into making that change happen. Okay, so congratulations to all the graduates. Thank you all for listening. Thank you to the OGs that continue to come back. Remember, I am on Spotify, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. I'm also on YouTube. This is probably not going to be posted tonight. I'll probably have it posted early Tuesday, but I am still on track to go visual. July 15th will be the 1-year anniversary of this podcast. So I definitely want you all to follow me on YouTube at The Pretty Confident Podcast so that you can already be on the channel when the first visual episodes go live. Okay. So thank you all for tuning into the Pretty Confident Podcast. Remember, confidence isn't about perfection. It's about embracing who you are. Until next time, stay bold, stay authentic, and stay pretty confident. Peace out.